Thank you. He's misrepresenting me and my position and my point. Yes, I did make the claim that Ibn Taymiyyah says in a debate setting you are allowed to use the term father if you're referring to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But the quote that I brought was simply a response to Chris Claus, and I will read it as he's asking me to, was simply a response to Chris Claus making an argument saying that, look, Ibn Taymiyyah says you're not allowed to call Muhammad father. You're not allowed to do this. So I brought a reference to refute that, and he thinks that I'm using this reference to refute the claim that I brought. So here's the source, and I'll read what it says. The source is Ahmed ibn Taymiyyah, Bayan Talbis Al-Jahmiyyah, Volume 4, Riyadh Majma al-Malik Fahd, 2005, page 389 to 390. And if you want me to read the whole thing, or if you want me to just give a summarized, I'll do it. It doesn't matter.
We want to hear the quote. It's word for word.
Okay, beautiful. It says, affirming kalam, technical terms, or denying them is not prescribed absolutely, nor is it prohibited absolutely. Rather, if a man needs to articulate affirmation of a true meaning or denial of a false meaning using an expression in the language of the addressee to enable the addressee to understand and such like, that is not prohibited. That falls under the category of translating God's name and verses into another language so that the people who speak that language can understand the meanings of that, the people who speak that language, his speech and his names. This translation is permissible, even recommended sometimes, or even at times obligatory, even if that is not prescribed absolutely. Similarly, addressing those who use these technical terms and the names of God, his attributes, and the foundations of religion and their technical terminology, when the meanings elucidated for them are the meanings of the Quran and the Sunnah, resembles reciting the Quran in a language other than Arabic. This translation is permitted to enable the addressee to understand. There is no dispute about this among the scholars. That's it.
Excellent. You literally said the names of Allah and the revelation, the verses of his Quran. Is one of Allah's names the Father?
Listen to the ending of it, because it literally says terms in the names of God, comma, his attributes, comma, and the foundations of religion in their technical terminology. So it's talking about Islam in a whole. So if I'm addressing Chris Claus and he refers to God as Father, for argument's sake, I can use the term father if by father he means the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and etc. So for the sake of argument, I am allowed to use the term father if I am speaking to you and I'm speaking in your native tongue, and that is the only term you know God by. I am allowed to use that terminology, and I just gave you the quote. So you're taking half of the source, using it to your advantage, and then you're throwing the other half under the bus.
Yeah, so what I'm actually showing you is that you're not able to read and comprehend the quote properly. And when you actually read it, you actually read Allah's names, his attributes, and his revelation. So it's talking about the names and attributes and revelation that Allah has
not
revealed.
revelation, religion.
So therefore, where is Allah identified as a father?
Well, once again, this is a straw man. I'm not making the claim that Allah is identified as father. Stop straw manning.
I know, but you have to be, because what the quote that you're referencing is saying that you can translate and you can do things with the names, the attributes, and the revelation so that people can understand them. That's what the quote is saying.
Yes. So if you're using the term father to refer to God, and you're simply using the term father to refer to God as the God of Abraham, Isaac, Noah, Jacob, Joseph, and I use the term father to refer to the same thing, I'm allowed to do that. You haven't refuted that yet. You're just running to a different argument at this point and strawmanning my original point.
No, the problem is that you may not understand the argument that I'm putting forward, and it seems pretty obvious at this point in time. But Ibn Taymiyyah is saying that the names of Allah, the attributes of Allah, and his revelation from the Quran can be translated in a different way so that people can understand what's being said. Can you have a little bit of decorum, Central? Thank you. So that's exactly what it said. That's why I asked him to mistake. Central, can you mute up and have a little bit of decorum? Thank you.
But you're making a mistake.
Can you mute up and have a little bit of decorum, please? Thank you, Central.
Gotta let him do his thing, man.
Yeah, I muted up for you. So what we see here and this is why I wanted him to read the whole quote again, is because it addresses Allah's name, his attributes, and his revelation, the Quran. You can translate it in a way for people to understand it. But you can't go outside of the names and attributes that Allah has already given himself. What Central actually has to do is he actually has to show that these names or these attributes that Allah does not apply to himself can be used.
Oh my God, I can't believe how intellectually dishonest you are. I'm trying to interrupt you to correct you for the 5th time because you keep saying something that's crucial and you're not allowing me to do so. You keep saying Allah's names, his attributes, and his revelation when I'm not saying that. I'm saying Allah, the names of God, his attributes, and the foundations of religion, the foundations of Islam. Now, Chris Claus, I have the screen recorded. This is where I bury you, okay? In Ahmed ibn Taymiyyah, Al-Jawab, As-Sahih, Al-Imam Badala Din Al-Masih, 2nd edition, volume 3, Riyadh Dar Al-Sima, 1999, pages 236 to 307, the reference that Ibn Taymiyyah extensively discussed the usage of the term father when responding to Paul of Cyprus from the 13th century. You can especially see page 239 where he explicitly affirms that Moses, David, and Jesus spoke of Allah as Father. It would have been in a non-begotten manner. He gives multiple responses. In the second response, he gives what I mentioned above. And in the third response, he even says, this is an argument against Christians since the term father is used in multiple ways, which can also simply mean Lord. It's on that same page. There's the nail in the coffin. You held me to this verbatim fallacy of the term father. I just gave you the quote, and I made the claim in another live that you can use the term father in a debate's sake. I just gave you the quote from and the reference from Ibn Taymiyyah. Go ahead, try to refute it now.
I'm still waiting for you to actually reference the quote. What you're doing is you're giving your interpretation.
I literally just did.
Can you have a little bit of decorum, Central?
Respond to my argument.
I was muted the whole time you were speaking. The problem is that as soon as I speak, for some reason, you need to try to jump in to try to interrupt somebody. So again, what we need is for you to actually read the quote, not give your own interpretation of the quote. And then we also have to understand what Ibn Taymiyyah has also said in the reference that I've provided before as well, and also what I stated before. Now, I will go over that just one more time here. So, and it says, Al-Munawi said in his commentary on the Hadith, I am like a father in love and compassion and not in rank and superiority. And like a father in teaching you the matters that you must learn. As a father teaches moral conduct to his children, I am teaching you your rights and your obligations. Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah said in the book entitled Minhaj As-Sunnah on Nabawi, I murdered that pronunciation, but whichever. Allah says what means the prophet is more worthy than the believers than themselves, and his wives are in the position of the mothers. Of course, Surah 33:6, according to recitation of Ubay. and he is their father. Also, the famous recitation indicates this meaning as the wives of the prophet were the mothers of the believers because the prophet was the father of the believers. Had he not been like a father to the believers, his wives would have not been like their mothers. So Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah says that Muhammad is the father to the believers. But you're now saying that Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah says that Allah is a father. I'm not sure what you're trying to get to. I don't understand where you're going. But normally, when anybody calls Allah Father, they are imitating the Jews and the Christians that used to say it before. So therefore, it's not a term that Muslims can use. And it says here, there's nothing wrong with saying the prophet is a father for the Muslims. The prophet said, I'm like you, a father, I teach you, but not for Allah. So I don't understand where you're trying to. What I want you to actually do is to read the actual quote word for word and not put your own interpretation into it. And let's see if Ibn Taymiyyah actually contradicts himself or not. Go ahead.
Oh my God, guys. I cannot believe the level of dishonesty of Chris Claus. He literally got refuted on the father argument. Now he's running to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam being called a father. Subhanallah. This is crazy, Chris Claus. The coping, bro, is unbelievable. This is unbelievable, dude. Wallahi, this is crazy. Again, you literally ran to the mother of the believers. What does that have anything to do with Allah? Like, what do the wives of the prophet have anything to do with the topic, dude? Also, Chris Claus, are you reading a secondary source? Because it doesn't sound like you're quoting Ibn Taymiyyah, but you had someone else try to quote him, which is kind of disingenuous, Chris Claus, where I'm bringing you the actual primary source, and I'll read it again, and I want you to specifically address my argument, and if God Logic wants, he can bring up a Christian. I have it in Arabic. They can read it for you so you can look like a fool in front of 400 people now. And I'll read it again. It says here it is, right here. Look. In Ahmed ibn Taymiyyah, Al-Jawab al-Sahih, Liman Badala Din al-Masih, 2nd edition, volume 3, Riyad Dar al-Asimma, 1999, pages 236 to 307. If you want, have an Arab speaker come up and read it. Even secondary literature by Western scholars agree it is, this is like John Hoover, the current leading expert in Ibn Taymiyyah studies from Birmingham University. You're reading a secondary source, Chris, not a primary source. You're reading someone who quotes Ibn Taymiyyah. It's on page 236, the section where he begins to discuss the terms father and the son in relation to Allah and the prophets. And in page 238, he begins to offer the responses that is the response to number 1. So I'll read it again. I'll read what it says. It says, you can... I'm summarizing it in English, obviously. It says, you can specifically see page 239 in the book in the source that I just quoted, where Ibn Taymiyyah explicitly affirms that when Moses, David, and Jesus spoke of Allah as Father, it would have been in a non-begotten manner. He gives multiple responses. In the second response, he gives what I mentioned above, the source that I quoted earlier. And in the third response, he even says, this is an argument against Christians, since the term father is used in multiple ways, which can also simply mean Lord. So please respond to what I'm saying. If you want, I have the Arabic PDFs pulled up. Bring up an Arab speaker, have him read it, and if I'm lying, I'll bite the bullet. Thus far, you are the one biting the bullet, Chris Claus.
So what we have here now is we have Central apparently accusing me of not going to a primary source, reading from somebody that is quoting Ibn Taymiyyah, which he basically just read somebody quoting Ibn Taymiyyah, doing exactly what he tried to accuse me of doing. Now, getting into him saying,
Ibn Taymiyyah.
I'm still speaking. I truly am Central, but just have a little decorum. So when we're getting into this, we need to understand what's actually being said. So you actually heard the words that he was actually saying. It's an argument against the Christians, right? It's an argument against the Christians. So that's not affirming Allah as a father. That's changing the definition so that you can disagree with the term that they have. That wasn't what we were talking about either. Now that we got that straw man out of the way, we can actually take a look at if Muslims can even identify Allah as a spiritual father. And this is not permissible for many reasons. The names and attributes of Allah are restricted to the text in the Quran and the authentic Sunnah. And we can only name him by what he named himself in his books or what the Prophet named him in his Sunnah. Naming Allah with names that he did not name himself with, or that the Prophet did not name himself with, is considered as a deviation in Allah's names and attributes. Let me read that again. Naming Allah with names that he did not name himself with, or that the Prophet did not name him with, is considered a deviation in Allah's names. So if Central wants to say you can call Allah your father and that's his name, he is deviating from Allah's names and attributes. Allah says, which means, and the most beautiful names belong to Allah, so call him by them, and leave the company of those who practice deviation concerning his names. They will be recompensed for what they have been doing. Surah 7, verse 180. And it says, naming Allah as a spiritual father is an imitation of the Jews and the Christians of the Prophet, and the Prophet forbade us from imitating them, as he said, he is not one of us. He who imitates non-Muslims, do not imitate the Jews nor the Christians. That's Jami al-Tirmidhi. So we see that if anyone in Islam identifies Allah by other than a name that Allah or Muhammad have declared in the Quran or in the Sunnah, they are in deviation. So for Central to be able to make this argument that Allah can be referred to as a father, even in debate settings, he is providing that he is deviating from the actual names and attributes of Allah, and apparently so is Ibn Taymiyyah.
Oh my goodness, what an absolute straw man. What an absolute straw man. He went from calling Allah father to now calling Allah a spiritual father. This guy's all over the place. He notice, guys, he didn't address the source that I brought. He said, Central, you accused me of using somebody who quotes Ibn Taymiyyah, and then you did the same thing. No, I didn't. I literally quoted Ibn Taymiyyah. This shows me the level of dishonesty that you're using throughout your debating, my friend. This is like unbelievable. I'll give you a quote that's in English. Maybe it'll help you understand a little bit better. Ibn al-Qayyim, a student of Ibn Taymiyyah, in his book, Guidance of Al-Khayari, in the answers of the Jews and the Christians, he says, it is permissible for Muslims to use the term Father as God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, and everything in between, in this very book, in page 194. I'll keep it very simple. So I gave you Ibn Taymiyyah that says it, and I gave you a student of Ibn Taymiyyah that says the same thing that Ibn Taymiyyah said. Now stop running to the mother of the believers. Stop running to Jews and Christians and spiritual fathers. I don't care about any of that. I simply made the claim that Ibn Taymiyyah says, if you are referring to, and if you're speaking to somebody who is not a Muslim, and they use the term father to refer to God as Lord or God, the creator of the heavens and the earth and everything in between, if you're using the term father to refer to God or Allah as the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Moses, then it is permissible to use the term father when you're speaking with a person who doesn't speak the Arabic language. I gave you the quote from Ibn Taymiyyah. Now I'll give you the quote from Ibn Qayyim, a student of Ibn Taymiyyah, that says the literal exact thing that Ibn Taymiyyah said. Again, here's the reference, and I want you to address this specifically. Guidance of Al-Hayati and the answers of the Jews and the Christians. Ibn Qayyim says, it is permissible for Muslims to use the term Father as God, the creator of heaven and earth and everything in between in his book. Page 194. Address this, please, Chris Claus, address this source. Don't run to Ibn Taymiyyah or don't run to Ibn Kathir or whoever you just quoted. I named two people. I named Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Qayyim. Stick to these two people. If you haven't done your research on them, it's okay. Bite the bullet and take the L. It's not that big of a deal. I gave you the reference. In the other live, you were trying to hold me to the verbatim fallacy of where is the term father. I just gave it to you by Ibn Taymiyyah and by Ibn Qayyim. So please respond to this. Respond to this, Chris. Don't straw man my arguments. Go ahead.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Central. So now, everybody, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to explain the trap that I set for Central, and I'm going to explain how he didn't see it, and I'm going to explain how I just exposed him as being a deviator. So, in the first live, when I was speaking to the Muslim, this Muslim gentleman named Blue, he was identifying Allah as Yahweh, the Father, and Hashem. So Central, White Knighton, for Blue, come up and said, yes, you can identify Allah as Yahweh. Literally said that. He said you can identify Allah as the Father, but only in debate settings. And he wanted to wonder what Hashem was. So I explained it to him, and we got from there. But the trap that I was laying for Central is that once he said that you could call Allah Father in a debate setting, I started my trap. I asked him to provide the evidence, because him just simply making a claim isn't anything. We want him to provide evidence where these Muslims call Allah the Father. So once he provides this evidence, that's when I went to the spiritual father, the imitation of the Jews and the Christians. And this is where I read, and I will read again, because maybe Central didn't get it the first time. So the trap was to make a Muslim present the evidence where Allah would be identified as a father, and then hit him with this. The names and attributes of Allah are restricted to the text of the Quran and the authentic Sunnah. And Muslims can only name Allah by what he named himself in his book, or by what the Prophet named him in his Sunnah. Check this one out. Naming Allah with names that he did not name himself with, or that the Prophet did not name him with, is considered as a deviation in Allah's names and attributes. So, you cannot call Allah a name that Allah has not revealed himself, or that Muhammad has revealed about him. And if you do identify Allah as a name other than that, you are considered as a deviator. Therefore, Central making the argument today that Allah is a father, when Allah nor Muhammad ever declared Allah to be a father, is showing that he is a deviator. And I guess so is Ibn Taymiyyah. Therefore, he cannot be trusted now that he is a deviator according to the Prophet. So go ahead and respond to that, Central. How can you call Allah a name that he did not call himself, nor Muhammad called him? How can you do it?
Yeah, guys, as soon as somebody says, let me give you guys a little pointers on how debates work. As soon as somebody says, oh, this whole time I was setting a trap for him, that's when they bit the bullet and they lost the debate. Listen, Chris Claus, I'm not saying that the term father is a title of Allah, which you're trying to imply here. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what Ibn Taymiyyah is saying. That's not what Ibn Qayyim was saying. You simply are not understanding. This is why I don't want to debate you, because you are intellectually dishonest, to be honest. I'm being honest with you. What I'm making the claim is Muslims don't call Allah as Father. It is not a title. It is not a name of God. Okay? It is not one of the names of Allah. Okay? We can use the term Father when we are speaking to a Christian like yourself, Chris Claus, and we can use the term Father if we are referencing or talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Noah, Moses, and etc. for debate, for the sake of the debate, for the sake of argument. If you want to use the term Father and you're referring to the creator of the heavens and the earth, then sure, we can use the term Father, no problem. And the second response, we illustrate the explanation. Here's another quote. The second response, this is from Ibn Taymiyyah. He says, we illustrate the explanation from the words, they, i.e. the prophets of the Bible, have mentioned. As for the statement on the tongue of Moses, peace be upon him, speaking to the children of Israel, stating, is he not your father who created you, the one who made and established you? He's quoting Deuteronomy 32:6. In this, he, Moses, called Allah Father other than to Jesus, peace be upon him. And also, he stated, you are my children, my firstborn. And to David, he said, you are my son, my beloved. And Jesus said, my father and your father. He's quoting John 20:17. They, i.e. the prophets, affirm what's meant by this, which is affirmed to other than just Jesus, is Lord, not the meaning of begotten. Page 239. I'm literally showing you that for a Muslim, it's okay to use the term Father in a debate setting. I'm not making a claim that the term Father is a title of Allah or a name of Allah or an attribute of Allah. What you are trying to argue and saying you trapped me for it. You didn't trap anything, dude. You bit the bullet, you know it, and you're taking an L on this, and it's screen recorded. So, take the L and just move on, dude.
So instead of having 2-minute discussions, let's go back and forth. When you're referring to the Father and Allah, and you're speaking with a Christian in debate, is that in the terms of it being identified as a title or name?
Respond to my claim, Chris Claus.
Answer the question, Central.
No, I just gave you 3 quotes. Respond to either of the 3 quotes.
When you're talking to a Christian in debate and you refer to Allah as a father, is that in term of title or name? Which one?
Respond to my arguments, Chris.
You're going to answer the question because...
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Logic.
Okay. Yeah, really quick. So Central, can you show your source on the screen? You said that you could put it on the big screen. We're trying to get the source for you.
Yeah, does Paul Bishop want to read it in Arabic?
He can.
Sure.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let me pull up.
What's the name of the book?
When you're talking with Christians, though, and you're addressing the Father as being Allah, is that in terms of the Christians using the Father as a name or a title of God?
Yeah, Chris, you couldn't respond, so now you're trying to do a cross-exam, which I'm not trying to do because I brought up 4 arguments. You didn't respond to any. You strawmanned all 4 of my arguments. I'm not letting you run.
You notice that he's not going to address.
Yeah,
this.
I think it's only fair. Yeah, I think it's fair. Both people have points made. This isn't a formal debate. We're talking here. You know, we heard both sides. I think it's fair to examine the points that's been made so far.
Yeah. I got it right here.
So if he's asking questions, you know,
we'll have Paul Bishop.
What's the name of the book?
My bad.
And the reference Central quoted is Ibn Taymiyyah. And he's saying that when you're in discussions with Christians and you use the name Father, so when you use the name Father, I'm addressing that name alone. When you're addressing the Christians, I'm still speaking. When you're in debate with the Christians, is the Father a name in that discussion?
Okay, Chris Claus, yeah, just bite the bullet. Paul Bishop, the name of the book is Ahmed Ibn Taymiyyah al-Jawab
as-Sahih. Answer the question.
I'm speaking, show some decorum.
The problem is that if you answer the question and you say it's the name, you've then refuted yourself and showed that you're deviating.
We'll get him to answer.
Thank you.
So we got the book title?
Yeah, I have the book and I have the page, and Paul Bishop is a Christian. He can read it in Arabic and he can confirm whether I was telling the truth or whether I was lying. Okay?
I'm sorry. The book is for Ibn Taymiyyah, something as-Saghir. What is
I got
the
you.
word?
It's
What is the word
Ahmed.
again?
It's Ahmed ibn Taymiyyah al-Jawab as-Sahih liman
Oh,
badawa.
Al-Jawab as-Saghir. Hold on.
Yep.
Okay. So with that being, now that we got
Can
the
I get big screen?
sure.
Here, I got it right here.
I'm hoping that you can answer his question because I want to know the answer to this.
No, this gives you the answer. This gives you the answer. Here.
It gives the answer to Chris's question.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you read, Paul?
So this
Just
should tell us if it's a name or a title.
Repeat my question. I just want to repeat my question just to see if it actually gets answered. So in the discussion that these Muslims are having with the Christians, is the word father in relation to a name? That's the question.
Okay, Paul, let me know when
Yes,
you...
Central. Can you please not move too much, please? No, go back. It's okay. I want to see the whole page. I'll take a screenshot so I can actually... Yeah. Okay. وغير ذلك فلا يجوز أن يناقض بعضه بعضا. That's the first line. Okay. Hold on a sec. You know what? I'm going to move it to a different screen. I'm going to get the book. I couldn't find the actual book. I couldn't find a Jawab Saghir. If you...
Not Sahir. It's not a Sahir. It's Sahih. Sahih.
Oh, Sahih. Yeah, I
No.
found a Sahih, a Jawab Sahih.
No.
Okay. So, all right. I'll look. You can continue with Chris Claus.
There's nothing for me and him to continue. Can you just, Paul Bishop, can you just confirm what I said is true? Really quick.
I took a screenshot. Yeah. It's just going to take me like 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes, please.
No problem. I'll wait. Once Paul Bishop, a Christian Arab, confirms what I was saying is true, Chris Claus bite the bullet.
Central. You don't understand my argument, Central. You think that I'm protesting the word father being in the text, and I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm protesting the usage of the word father being used there, in which way it's being used. Is it being used as in a name when the debates are happening with the Christians? If it is, then it's a deviation.
No, it's just referenced as a term so that you and I can come to a common understanding.
What do you mean term? When a Christian refers to
it's literally just medical usage in terms of meaning, not affirming it as a property. There's an intellectual response for you, Chris.
why would the Christian be calling God the Father? In which term would they be using?
Are you serious? Did you seriously just ask me why would a Christian be calling God the Father?
In which way would a Christian call God the Father? Go ahead.
You cannot be serious right now.
Well, the reason why I'm being serious, because if it's in
God logic, it's not a 2v1, fam.
I want the answer, bro.
It's not a 2v1, fam. I know you want to pull Chris out of this one. I know you do.
No, this is a discussion. I like where he's at, actually. He's asking really good questions.
There ain't no pulling him out of this one, trust me. And it's not a deviation, and I'll tell you why.
It's easy to answer his question.
Okay, so it's not a deviation, just as you and I would have to say that God has a body according to the Ismailis. But does God actually have a body? No.
So instead of using a straw man, let's use the information that we have that you've provided in front of us.
I literally said it's just a semantical usage
when you're debating a
in terms of
Christian,
meaning, not affirming it as a property.
When you're debating a Christian and they use the term father, are they saying that that God's name is the Father? Is that what the Christians are saying?
Stop.
Sorry, do you mind if I jump in quickly?
Yeah,
because I read the page that you sent or you showed Central. It's not saying what you're saying.
So what does it say? So
Ibn Taymiyyah here is given his misunderstanding of father to Messiah in answer number 2, and then answer 3. So that's what you need to narrow it down to. In answer number 3, and it says, like, this is the last paragraph, الثالث. So number 3, إن هذا حجة عليهم. This is an argument against them. Who's them? Is the Christians.
Wait, so
فإذا
now
كان
it's
في
not Ibn Taymiyyah saying it's not allowed? It's not. It's Ibn Taymiyyah not knowing what father means? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Why are you shifting the goalpost?
I'm not shifting the goal. I'm translating.
You're arguing that Ibn Taymiyyah doesn't know what the term father means.
Yeah.
You're pushing the
Let's
goalpost.
let hey, Central, let's let Paul make his point.
Bro, this is embarrassing.
Okay.
You're
pushing the
embarrassing
goalpost.
yourself
No.
by
God
misunderstanding
logic.
the source that
Listen.
you provided.
Listen, he
Please
just got
mute
caught.
up.
Central,
Okay.
bro, come on, man.
Bro,
let him make his
Paul
point.
Bishop got
Okay.
caught. He's
Central.
arguing.
Okay, I got caught.
Central.
Okay.
Bro, let's
Central.
not.
This is
Come on,
ridiculous.
Logic.
Let
Let me
the
speak,
man
bro.
make his point, bro. What's wrong?
But
with
he's
you?
lying. Wait,
Okay,
he's
I'm not
saying,
lying.
If he's
I'm not lying.
bro.
Dude.
This is caught in 4K, bro.
Avery, can I get a big screen, please?
Yeah.
I'll show
3
him that I'm
Christians,
not
bro.
lying.
He's saying
Okay.
that Ibn Taymiyyah
Can I get a
doesn't
big
know the
screen,
term,
please?
the meaning
Okay.
of father.
Dude,
All right, let's see if
I
he's
need
lying,
you. I
Central.
need you to just listen to the Arabic. I'm not gonna do anything but translate the Arabic. Okay, so this is number 2, and this is number 3, and he here saying the fathership of the Israelites is not. Sorry. Whoa. Hold on 1 second. I don't want
Yeah,
to. Okay.
because
Hold
you're
on a sec.
absolutely straw manning my argument.
I don't want it to reflect my. Anyways,
Paul,
listen.
you'll end up on my page again, bro.
I already caught you with your sources about the Crusaders and how you don't have sources for that. Anyways, let's continue with this
I've
one.
run free since then.
Sorry, can you see my screen? Okay. Oh, I didn't have my screen on. Sorry. Okay, so in number 2, answer
Where
number 2.
Dawah is.
Dude, is
Where
he
does it
gonna
say
mute up?
fathership?
Avery,
Yes.
are you gonna
Because you're
control
lying,
him?
dude. You're lying.
Are you gonna control him?
I got this. I got this. Central. It's not helping me, bro. Like seriously. Let the man make his point. I don't want to have to mute you. So let's have decorum. All right. So
He can speak, and then I'll
like
point
he's
out
off.
every lie that he makes.
No
I'll go on.
worries. If he's off, correct him when he's done.
Because I'm lying.
That's how we do this.
Bring your best. Bring Yahya so I can embarrass him in Arabic one more time. Anyways, so here, الجواب الثاني, and it's talking about the contrast of the fathership to the Israelites and to the Messiah, and he here said التولد. التولد means biological fathership to the Messiah. Is this what Christians believe? Obviously, no. So obviously, Ibn Taymiyyah doesn't understand a single thing here. And then, because he asserted that Christians believe التولد الذي يخصون به المسيح. Where is that? في حق غير المسيح بمعنى الرب لا معنى التولد الذي يخصون به المسيح. That means this is what Christians are saying about the Messiah, that he was مولود من Allah, and that's what Christians do not say. No Christian on earth would say this. Now, any learned Christian, anyways, unless he's super ignorant. And now, number 3, الثالث, إن هذا حجة عليهم. This is an argument against them. Against them who? The Christians. Because فإن كان في الكتب المتقدمة تسميته أبا لغير المسيح وليس المراد بذلك إلا معنى الرب. And that is an argument against them, the Christians, because in the previous books it was narrated that he's a father beside or aside from the Messiah. So he's a father to other than the Messiah. And just like if we didn't know that. وَلَيْسَ الْمُرَادُ بِذَلِكَ, and this is not naming the Father, except to mean the Lord. عِلْمًا إِنَّ هَذَا اللَّفظ فِي اللُّغَةِ, and this is knowing that is this terminology or this term in the books, في لغة الكتب, or in the literary books, or in the books that was mentioned, يراد به الرب. it was meant to mean Lord. فيجب حمله في حق المسيح على, and that's it. That's all what I got. And this should carry, and this Father, like he's trying to say, and this title should also carry to the Messiah. So that means exactly what he meant. He meant to mean the lordship of the Father.
Bro, let me respond. Okay. So do you affirm that Father means Lord according to Ibn Taymiyyah and you?
Yeah, but he's not saying...
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me speak. Let me speak. Do you affirm...
Wait, hold on, please.
Let me speak. Let me speak. Let me speak.
I can't. I need to qualify my answer, bro. Like,
No,
what's wrong with
You
this?
lied.
What's wrong with this kid?
Let him qualify.
You're the one who lied about the book. There's nothing...
gracious, bro. What's going on with you today, man?
There's nothing what you said is in this reference.
Okay, because you're... Okay, let me respond. Paul Bishop,
let me respond. I need to qualify the answer of what the Arabic said. So
what did I lie about, Paul?
He's about to qualify his answer, Central. I don't want to have to mute you.
I want him to call me out on my lie. I want him to call me out on my lie.
Sure. So far, it doesn't indicate whatsoever Muslims can use the term father. No indication whatsoever. What is Ibn Taymiyyah doing here?
Remember the main question.
Oh my goodness.
The main question is whether the term...
Central.
Are you going to control him? Are you going to control him?
Central.
Are you going to control him?
Central. Paul, please. Central.
I mean, come on, bro.
It's starting to get a little irritated, man.
Because he doesn't even know what the debate topic is.
But Central, you asked the man the question, he's breaking down the answer, and you're literally interrupting him constantly. It's not a good look on your end, bro.
Yeah,
I'm trying to stay out of this as much as I can, but I only have to jump in on you.
Yeah, but Logic, the problem is he doesn't even know what he doesn't even know what the debate topic is.
He's been here listening this whole time. And
no, he hasn't. Because this stems from a live from me and Chris Claus earlier.
Central. Seriously.
Okay, I want him to show me where it says that we're not allowed to use the term father.
Central, he's about to qualify his answer. Wait till he finishes and then do it. The next time you come off, I'm going to have to mute you myself. And I'm going to have to just keep muting you.
I'm going to call on my lie, though.
All right, go ahead, Paul.
So, from the passages that I read that narrates the father and the usage in the previous books and how Christians supposedly understood it, clarifies that to us that Ibn Taymiyyah had no clue that we do not believe that there's a biological relation between the father and the son. And that is because the usage of tawallud, and that is definitely not how Christians believe in it. So, that being all said, there's nothing that indicates that Muslims can ever use in a debate matter or like as a polemical or as whatever, as something that they can use. They're not allowed to use it. There's no how do I say this? Like a clause where it says, well, Muslims can use it as, as a reference to the Lord. He's using it to say that this is what it meant, but that's it. But he's not using it as to the Muslims can use it. Muslims, just the same question he asked me, where does it say that Muslims can use it? Because so far I don't see anything that indicates the permissibility, that's the word I was looking for, the permissibility for Muslims to actually use it.
Can I respond now? Thank you. Okay. A lot of things to respond to this liar Paul. Okay, first of all, when you were reading out the begotten part, you said we don't say that. What? You lied. Yes, you do. Point number one. Why did Ibn Taymiyyah make the contrast? And who is Ibn Taymiyyah speaking to? You don't even know. Ibn Taymiyyah was speaking to a Malakite bishop, ya jahil. The entire book was literally a response to a later redacted letter from Paul of Cyprus. And you do affirm the term begotten. You do, as a Christian, affirm the term begotten. So stop lying, Paul. Also, why is Ibn Taymiyyah making a contrast of the meanings of the term from the first place? Why? Can you tell me? Or are you going to lie for Chris Claus again? No. Shh. No, I'm not done. Hush. You got caught. Why is Ibn Taymiyyah making a Be quiet. Hush.
Because
Be
Go
quiet.
ahead.
Hush.
Him say
Stop with the insults.
Logic, tell your boy to be quiet, because I went on mute.
hush. Yeah, come. No,
I'll
I
be
don't need. I
more
don't
than
need
happy.
anybody telling me what to do, anything on both sides. So we're gonna continue. Let's actually calm it down. It seems like that's a little much, I guess. So let's just keep it cool. None of the hushes, none of the names, whatever. Let's just keep it cool. Have the conversation.
Okay,
Sound
thank you.
good?
Thank you. Now I'll respond to all the lies that he made. Notice, guys, I asked him to point out my lie. I said, show me, Paul Bishop, where I lied. He didn't. He not a single time said, Central, this is where you lied. Not a single time, because he knows I didn't. So my question is, why is he making the contrast to begin with? Why does Ibn Taymiyyah make the contrast to begin with? Ibn Taymiyyah was speaking to a Malachite bishop, Paul. The entire book was literally a response to a latter redacted letter from Paul of Cyprus. And you do as a Christian, affirm the term begotten. So stop lying to 700 people because you do affirm that term. Why is Ibn Taymiyyah making a contrast of the meanings of the term from in the first place? Can you tell me that? To show it's not coursing to one meaning. He's showing you can affirm it to men's Lord. Don't explain to me a book you never read in your life or a summary of, let alone a single page you never came across in your whole entire life. And okay, so you affirm that Father means Lord according to Ibn Taymiyyah and according to you. That is, you said that. You said, yes, I affirm that and Ibn Taymiyyah affirms it. Do you affirm that Allah is the Lord of Jesus? Now be quiet. What did I lie about? Remember what the main question was. Remember the main question. So Ibn Taymiyyah
It's
affirming,
pretty big coming from a
Ibn
reading
Taymiyyah, Ibn
comprehension of a 3
Taymiyyah
years old.
affirming that Jesus actually called Allah
Your reading
Father
comprehension is
historically.
not even passable for a grade
So
3, man.
Ibn
Are you
Taymiyyah
done?
affirming, no, I'm not done. No, I'm not done. I'm exposing you for a
Exposing
fourth
me
time
what?
now.
You're exposing your ignorance of
Go
reading.
on mute,
Your
bro,
reading
please.
comprehension is
Go
not
on
even
mute,
measuring up
please.
to a grade
Please
3.
go on mute.
A grade 3 can read better than you.
Please
Let him
go on
land, Paul.
mute.
Let him land. Let
Yeah,
him
let me
land. Let him
land.
land. Let him land. It's okay. Let him land.
So Ibn Taymiyyah affirming that Jesus actually called Allah Father historically is not an affirmation of its usage, question mark, Paul? Please respond to the claims that I made for calling you out as a liar. You're the liar, not me. Go ahead, respond. And please show me where I lied.
One more time. This is where you lied. Write it down. Get a crayon and a piece of paper because that's your level of reading. Since you want to insult, let's give you the insults. Your reading comprehension doesn't even pass a grade 3. The fact that you're calling me jahil is the only you need to look up in the mirror. Pick up the mirror and look at yourself when you say jahil, because the reading of the Arabic here doesn't say anywhere it is permissible for the Muslim to use the term father in a debate context. You said that to Chris Claus several times, and you said it as it is quoted in this page. I went over the page, I looked at it, and there's nothing that says anything that it is permissible for Muslims to use the term father when they're debating Christians. Is this a lie now? Is this clear? Since you're recording, maybe you have dementia. Or is it the reading comprehension? I don't know. One of them. It gotta be either you're a liar or dementia or reading comprehension of a grade 3. Because you just said, again, it is permissible to use the term father for Muslims in a debate context, and you use this as a reference. And when we pressed you on it, you actually presented it. And there's nothing in the Arabic that says that. So where do you create your own bid'ah and start saying things that I don't know, pulling a rabbit out of hats here? Then you
Let me jump
go
in there,
on.
Paul. Let me jump in there, Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is where the meat of the matter is, Central. And I'm just making an observation point off of listening to you and the arguments and I have the translation here of what and what Paul is talking about. It doesn't. Ibn Taymiyyah is going against or is addressing the interpretation of father when it comes to the previous scriptures. He never says in it that you as Muslims can call Allah Father when you're starting to debate Christians or in a conversation with Christians. He doesn't say that aloud. He's only just attacking the fact that Christians believe that the Messiah is the Son of God, right? And how he's just using the sons by the tons argument. He's not saying that you're allowed to say this or call Allah Father when you're in conversation with Christians. It doesn't say that there.
Okay, yes, and Ibn Taymiyyah is transferring the meaning of father as the creator, is to say it's permissible. Ibn Taymiyyah said there's no disagreement. Paul Bishop, be quiet. Please be quiet. Be quiet.
No.
Be quiet. Let me respond.
Cut me.
You're not
responding.
Let me respond.
You're not responding after all the insults.
3v1. 3v1.
I cut him off.
I need to return
hold
those.
on, guys.
Okay.
Guys, respectful, guys. I did cut Paul off in the middle of his point because I wanted to get that out. I did cut him off in this point. Central, if you can just hold that thought, because this is important, guys. Like, especially with us going these 2 minute type of things. This is why we need to just ask direct questions straight away. Because you're saying, I don't want to say too much because I'm gonna let y'all do it, but I cut Paul off. Let's let Paul land his point, and then Central, you can go ahead and get it off. All right, that's my bad for cutting Paul off.
It's all right, man. Honestly, I lost my train of thought, but if you want to narrow it down for his saying, and in trying to excuse his lie and pulling a rabbit out of a hat, saying it's permissible, he has the burden of proof. I don't know. You keep saying, oh, this is not how debate works. Well, it seems like you don't know how debates work, genius, because you made the claim. You need to show it. So again, this is the Arabic page you told us to actually look at, and then when we looked at it, we don't see permissible for Muslims. Again, did you get the crayon and a piece of paper? Please, Mr. Pick up the mirror and look at it and say, Jahil, Jahil, Jahil. Oh, Hmar, Hmar, Hmar. Because I can't believe that you actually insult me and call me a liar while you yourself are pulling a rabbit out of a hat, saying, I'm not lying. Dude, again, show me in that page where does it say it is permissible for Muslims to use the term father. Is this clear enough for you? Is it permissible for the Muslims to use father in a debate context? Could you show us the exact verbatim words in Arabic? Or are you inventing? Or are you lying? Or is it a reading comprehension for grade 3? Well, tell me which one, please, I beg you, because I'm lost.
Yeah, okay, you done? By the way, guys, the reason that he's insulting is because he's a Catholic and we had a discussion regarding his Pope and he absolutely—
You're the idiot that insulted me first. You're the one insulted. You're the one insulted first. You and your imaginary sources.
Bro. Shut up.
Your imaginary sources that don't exist.
Logic, we can't hear you. You're muted, fam.
Central, that's not helping the conversation. Don't mention nothing in the past about Catholic or nothing like that. No,
I never said anything.
Because what you're doing is you're gaslighting. Stop trying to gaslight and get him riled up. Answer exactly what he just said. Forget everything else. Just respond to the point.
Yeah, it's very simple. So transferring the meaning of father as the creator is to say it's permissible. Ibn Taymiyyah says there's no disagreement among the scholars that utilizing terms that semantically agree with the Quran and the Sunnah can be used for the sake of the opponent or the inquisitor for an easier understanding. Is Ibn Taymiyyah affirming that Jesus actually called Allah Father historically? Is that not an affirmation of its usage? Yes, it is. If not, then read those pages and don't pull an exact word fallacy. It's very simple. And I didn't just quote that one page, Paul. I quoted 3 to 4 pages. So you're reading from one page and trying to build my entire argument off that one page, when in fact there's 3 or 4. If you want, I can show you those on the screen as well. And I want you to read them out loud.
Do you have an actual quotation where it says it is permissible, or is this your own understanding?
Yeah, do you want me to have it highlighted for you?
Again, from the page you showed me, it doesn't say anything is permissible. So do
Okay,
you,
one second.
again, please understand the question and mute up so you can open both ears. Is this your own understanding? It is permissible, or does Ibn Taymiyyah or Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah say it is permissible? Which one is it? Is it your understanding, or is it their words?
Okay. Affirming the prophets prior to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu called Allah Father is an affirmation of it. He literally affirms that the prophets used
Not
those
answering my
words.
question. Not answering my question. Again,
You're pulling an exact word fallacy. I don't have to.
I'm not pulling, dude.
Yes, you are.
I'm not. I'm asking you where you come up with that statement. I'm giving you the option. I'm giving you the option. I'm telling you, is it your understanding from the context of this passages that it is permissible, or is it something they exactly said and deduced themselves?
It's in the pages that I'm asking you to read.
Okay, perfect. So it is exact word. It's by your definition. It's by your admission right now. You're telling me this is the exact words. It's not me. You pushed yourself to that corner.
It's in the pages that I'm asking you to read.
Okay, please. Listen, you pushed yourself to that corner. It is exact words. So again, could you please show me where? Because I read the Arabic. It doesn't say anything like that.
Okay, give me big screen.
Hey guys, I'm about to get busy in a minute, so try to wrap this up if you guys can.
Ikra.
Okay. Try not
Page
to
one.
move as
Did you
much.
screenshot it?
Wait, okay. You know what? I'll screenshot it is probably easier. Hang on.
Go ahead. Page one.
Could you just not move?
One second. One second. Here. Subhanallah. Here. Read this.
Okay.
Read this. Read that right there. Read that.
Yeah, I read that.
Read it. Read it out loud and translate it.
الثالث إن هذا حجة عليهم. I read it and I translated.
What's it say?
Dude,
what's it say?
Third, and that is an argument against them.
Against who?
The Christians. I already translated that.
Thank you very much. So according to this,
can I speak to Avery for a second, please?
No. Don't run to Avery. Don't run to Avery.
No, it's not. I'm running to Avery. I'm gonna pull my hair. Because dude, I'm not running to Avery.
Don't run.
Okay,
to
you know what? I'm gonna talk to Chris Claus then.
Don't run. Okay. Don't run. What does it say?
I'm not running. So I translated this
Ikra.
like about 4 or 5 times. It's Iqra. It's not Iqra. It's Iqra. So learn how to enunciate the Arabic first. Before, okay, genius. Try to enunciate the Arabic or pronounce the Arabic properly. Then, oh my goodness. Inna hada hujja alayhum. So that is an argument against them. I already translated that.
Okay, an argument against who?
The Christians. How many times did dude? Like,
okay, so is he saying that you can use the term father when you're arguing against the Christians?
No.
You liar. You just got caught lying, fam.
How is that lying? So
you're lying.
Oh my goodness.
You are a liar. You are a liar, Paul Bishop.
Okay.
And you just got exposed.
The only liar is you, because he's not saying it's permissible for the Muslims to use it. He's saying this is an argument against them, but he's not saying we make the argument. Because you...
I never said that you make the argument.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, we can't talk at the same time.
Chris. Guys, Chris, I'm busy right now, but I want you guys to go ahead and still finish the conversation. So can you guys moderate and have a good
Logic, you're good, bro.
I need somebody
I got to head off to work in like 5 minutes, so I got to jump off myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you may have to mod me on this account. I don't think you have yet.
Okay.
You already modded, aren't you? Go ahead, Paul.
Ibn Taymiyyah here is speaking in general terms, not saying that you can make the argument. He's saying this is in general, this doesn't make sense. It's like me saying this doesn't make sense.
I don't care if it makes sense to you.
Oh, dude, can you shut him up? It's enough that you don't know reading comprehension, and then you'll blame me to be a liar or portray me as a liar. Why you cannot read as actually a grade 3 level. Ibn Taymiyyah here saying this doesn't make sense in their own worldview. That's basically what he's saying. This is an argument against them, but he's not saying you can actually use it as an argument because you do not hold to the Torah. And that's exactly what he's saying. الثالث إن حجة إن هذه.
Where does Ibn Taymiyyah say that?
Well, that's the reading comprehension that you're not getting. That
Where does
stuck
he
in
say
grade
that?
3.
Where does he say it doesn't make sense in their view?
Okay, that's exactly what he's saying.
Where? Show me. Show me.
Okay.
Show me. Open your camera and show me.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I kid you not. Like his reading comprehension is grade 3.
Open your camera.
I honestly, I've met grade 3. I actually know how to read more than you.
Open your camera and show me where Ibn Taymiyyah says it doesn't make sense in their view. Show me. I dare you.
Perfect. Hold on. No, I never said that Ibn Taymiyyah says. Wait, hold on. I'm telling you the reading comprehension.
Oh my God. You're coping so bad. You are
coping.
You said. No. Paul Bishop. You said that it doesn't. You said it says it doesn't.
Dude.
Bro, you just got caught. You just got caught.
And like you highly interruptive. You're not allowing me to make my actual ideas
you
come
said
through.
That he says it doesn't make sense.
This is not going to work.
Show me where he says that.
This gotcha moments by interrupting me.
Paul, show me where Ibn Taymiyyah says it doesn't make sense.
Okay, I am trying to. If you shut up, man.
Go ahead.
Seriously. All right. So I already went through this. Like this is the third time I go through.
Just show me the quote. I don't care how many times.
I am. You genius. Like I feel like I'm talking to kids. Okay.
No, you're a pathological liar, is what you are.
I'm a pathological. And yeah, says the one that with imaginary sources. Okay, so here, this is number 2, and then he follows with number 3.
This is number 2, and then he.
I got a phone call. Shut up. So hold on. So this.
Show me that quote.
Shush. Just shut up.
Show me.
Shut up, man. Like, seriously, I'm fed up with you. You're wasting time with gaslighting and all that. So this is number 2. He shows the contrast, and then it starts inna hada hijra alayhum. I already translated. So this is relating to that. What he's saying. This is why it doesn't make sense to mean tawallud. This is why it doesn't make sense to mean tawallud. This is why it's not making sense. It is biological. Do you understand? It's not saying it is permissible to use it as an argument. Do you understand now, genius, how reading comprehension works?
Dude, what are you talking about biological? What are you talking? Dude, what are you talking about biological? Okay, Paul, you got to mute up. You have an echo. Okay, Paul, you got to mute up. You have an echo. Okay, guys.
It's you who has an echo.
Okay, guys. You who has an echo.
Thank goodness. Okay, so tawallud means biological.
No. Oh my goodness. Show me where it says that it doesn't make sense in their view. Show me where it says that it doesn't make sense in their view.
Mute up, because you're echoing, not me. Okay, so this is what I forgot to address when Avery actually interrupted me. Tawallud, like I stated, biological, and this is how Ibn Taymiyyah understood it. And he was trying to contrast the Old Testament.
You both have an echo, bro.
Ibn Taymiyyah understood it. And he was trying to contrast. You need to mute up.
You both have an echo, bro.
You need to mute up. It's not me who has an echo, it's you.
Paul, it's you and me, bro.
Just mute up, Central. There's no echo when you're muted.
Paul, it's you and me.
Mute up, Central. There's only an echo when Central is unmuted.
Thank you. Okay, so do not unmute yourself, Central. That actually saves a lot of headache and heartache, to be honest. So, oh, he ran. Okay, well, or he left, or hopefully he comes back. I'll address this just so we can know how much of a liar he is, actually. Hopefully this helps, Chris. In number 2, Ibn Taymiyyah is contrasting the Old Testament with how Christians viewed the fathership of God to, or the Father to the Messiah. And he says it's not by tawallud. And then number 3, he starts by completion to the idea of number 2 by saying this is an argument against them. In other words, it's like saying this is why it doesn't make sense to mean father as biological or tawallud, and it is just merely to mean Lord, but it's nowhere is mentioning the permissibility of Muslims to use it in any sense, whether it's polemical, whether it's in a debate matter, whether it's a referral, whatever the case might be. He's inserting an idea that is non-existent. It's not only non-existent, it's also built on his lack of reading comprehension.